Hello viewers, my name is Don Mukwasi and I'm a business accountant. Welcome once again to hashtag Ask an Accountant. And today on the program I'm going to be talking about PAYE, which others refer to as PAYE. Just to give an insight on PAYE, it is actually the pay as you earn. PAYE stands for pay as you earn, and pay as you earn is actually a tax that is deducted on every employee from the salary. I believe by looking at your salary, you see that there is SDL, UIF, and PAYE. So the one I'm actually trying to talk about today is the PAYE and what it is. This is actually the tax that the employer deducts on behalf of SARS, and the employer pays this money back to SARS on the 7th of every month or before the 7th of every month. It is actually every employee is required by SARS to pay the PAYE. So it is actually a law which SARS has gazetted for each and every person who is on a payroll to pay that money. For most of the people, they might be wondering, why is it that there is PAYE deducted on their salary? The reason why it is deducted is simply because if it's not deducted on a monthly basis, it will be deducted maybe at the end of the year, at the end of the financial year, as a lump sum. So for SARS to reduce this burden to all the employees, they decided that every employer should deduct that PAYE on a monthly basis so that it reduces the burden of paying a big lump sum at the end of every financial year. If you are an employer, if you fail to withhold PAYE, you will be liable for penalties and interest from SARS. So however, every employer works on behalf of SARS, and it is a must that every employer deduct this PAYE on behalf of SARS, and this money must be paid to SARS before the 7th of every month. The employer may not refuse to work on behalf of SARS because every employer must be an agent for SARS so that the SARS is in a position to deduct the PAYE from all the workers or all the employees. Moving on, you might be asking yourself, who should register for PAYE? According to the law, an employer must register with SARS or South African Revenue Authority or Service within 21 days after becoming an employer. For instance, if you can incorporate your company, and once you have a company that is incorporated and you have employees, within 21 days you must register for PAYE. You might want to know, how do you register for pay as you earn? Here are the requirements when you want to register your company for pay as you earn. The document required for pay as you earn registration include the following: the CK document or the company registration documents, the ID copies of director or the directors, the proof of business address, the proof of address of one of the representatives of an employer, the proof of business account, that is the business bank account, and the process takes up to 5 working days depending on the workload within the institution, the government institution that registers the PAYE, which is the Labor Department. Let's look at the important dates to remember when we are dealing with pay as you earn. The 29th of March of every year, that's when we submit the employer annual reconciliation, and that's when it ends. Then the 5th of June, submission and payment of the EMP 201. The 7th of July, submission and payment also of EMP 201. So in other words, every 7th of the month, that's where the payment for EMP 201 must be paid, or you can pay it before, but the deadline is the 7th of every month. For instance, to pay the EMP or the PAYE for this month, which is September, it must be paid before the 7th of the preceding month, which is October. Employer interim reconciliation starts on the 1st of September of every year. Then submission and payment of EMP 201 is always on the 7th. I'm just repeating the same thing here. And also the interim reconciliation starts as well on the 30th of October. So in short, just to conclude my topic on pay as you earn, it is very important for every company or every employer to make sure that you register for pay as you earn after 21 or within 21 days of conducting a business. And as an employer, it is a must that you must deduct the PAYE from every employee on behalf of SARS. And also, you need to remember the important date as far as PAYE is concerned, that you must pay what is due to SARS before the 7th of every month. And also for reconciliation, the 1st of September, that's when the reconciliation starts. And just to wrap up, always remember that PAYE must be paid before the 7th of every month. Have a good day.